Well, we've spent the last couple of days looking at the wall, and there's two distinct options. One at the left side, which is a lot cleaner, but it's really steep, and there's a big blank section in the middle of it. And then there's the option on the right, which is a really proud line. It's basically the nose of the cliff. It's the biggest, most aesthetically pleasing part of the cliff. Unfortunately, it looks like it's completely covered in trees. It doesn't look that hard, it's not that steep, but it looks like it could be a full-on tree fight from start to finish. Now, we've been thinking about it, and given the time that we've got, and yesterday it rained really heavily, like full-on monsoon style rain. I mean, it's really not the right season. It's the wettest, hottest month of the year, so through a lot of thought, we've decided we're going to go for the right-hand option, the nose of the cliff. Yeah, it's pretty dirty, basically. It's very overgrown. The trees aren't too bad, but the bits of grass in between it's not solid at all. It's really hard to tell which big clumps of it come off, and like dirty ledges collapse, and some of the flowers are quite strong, and we're kind of sort of figuring out which are the strong grasses and which ones aren't. It's big, it's going to keep going. It's not too steep down here, but basically it's a bit steeper than it looked. Yeah, we're pretty light. We haven't got any pitons or a hammer or a drill, so you know, we're kind of wondering that we should have really brought some pitons and a hammer just in case we end up with any thin cracks. So I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be okay.
Well, easy.
Oh, that was hard, man. Like, yeah, a fight. Aiding up trees and bits of gear.
Oh, hot and nasty. That's right, nasty. Like, fuck.
Well, we're quite high up on the wall now, more than halfway, and it's just started raining. It's not raining too heavily, and it looks like it might just be a shower, but it's going to be epic getting down from here. Ugh.
Super fun. It's like being in Amazonas, in the middle of Amazonas, for real.
Well, it's been a proper fight for sure. The route has been way harder than we thought it was going to be. The blank sections in between the overgrown sections are quite hard, you know, like sort of E5 climbing at least, and it's pretty dangerous, you know, because you go from, it's really blank in between the cracks. Then you get to the trees, and we're sort of figuring out which ones are good and which ones aren't. Some of the really thin little pine trees are really solid, you know, they might only be 3 centimeters thick, but they're bomber, whereas some of the fat trees of a different kind just break. And you kind of figure out which ones to snap off and get out the way, and which ones to put slings around, and which are the ones to aim for and which are the ones to avoid. But it's pretty relentless. Like, I'm getting cut to pieces here. I'm doing most of the leading because we're really in a rush. You know, this is a big wall and the weather's crapping out, and it looks like it's going to get worse.
Classic.
And there's a good chance this is going to be our only shot.
In the jugular.
We really need to do it this go. I mean, there was 2 hard pitches low down. I led one of them, Carlos led one of them, and
Ooh, it's a bit rotten.
I'm not really up for doing that again. We don't have enough rope to fix that high.
Doing by with shots. Oh no.
We've gone in a really good style, super lightweight, but really committing, and I'm not sure if we don't get up at this go, I don't know if we're going to have another go.
Oh, big tree. Big tree, thank fuck for that. Oh.
Oof. More of the same. Great. Good team though, I'm impressed with the boys. Laughing their way through a fairly horrific experience. There was a little bit of a wobble when it started raining. And then it started raining quite hard for a little bit. But, because it really dumped the other day, like full on monsoon rain 2 days ago, and we would have got schooled in that. I mean, you can climb in this shit, but in heavy rain, I don't know if we'd have got up it. Oh shit, it's really raining. You could do with it lightening up a bit. Wow, what an adventure, man. From start to finish, like from the second you step off the path. It's just started raining really heavily. It's a good job it didn't start any lower down, but we could have done with it starting in like an hour, not now. We've still got like a few pitches to go. Ooh, it's really starting to rain quite heavily.
Well, it's just started to rain in possibly the worst place. We could get down from here. It's not going to be that much fun. Yeah, it's all a bit tense really. Anything could happen if it starts to dump like it did the other day.
Oh man, it's all wet and covered in trees and as if it's not hard enough anyway. Now it's totally soaked. And the rope drag's horrific going through those trees. It's like really not any fun. So I've short fixed it. I pulled up all the rope and fixed it down there, and I'm basically soloing now. Rope soloing. As soon as they get there, I'll get to put me back on B lane. I'm ready for being at the top now. I'm kind of over it. Oh.
I'm not sure we'll be able to continue. I mean, we can keep climbing in light to medium rain, but a heavy downpour and we're just not going to be able to keep going. Now the slabs in between the trees are really getting a bit treacherous. There's almost no friction. I'm covered in dirt, I'm cut to pieces. Yeah, it's turning into a bit of a grueling experience really, but thankfully everyone's spirits are still pretty high, and you know, as long as we can keep sort of optimistic and positive and keep the spirits up, we should be able to push on through.
2,000 feet. Oh. Now on the ropes. It's not over till it's over. Yes, that's it. Cold beer and medals.
I kind of forgot that we were. This was going to be a massive media circus up here. We've been involved in this cliff for the past 13 hours and really sort of just focusing on each move and getting up the wall and getting these two up the wall without any more incidents. And we've just got to the top and there's like 10 people with cameras and video cameras and journalists and a bunch of flowers for us and everything. It's like I've never experienced anything like this before. We're full-on heroes.